Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners.
Good morning. May the 4th be with you. It's Monday, it's May the 4th. So much is going on right now that you cannot make head nor tail of. This is all part of the distraction as one old system is being dismantled and a new system is being put in place. However, for those people who are living in fear, let me assure you of one thing. This was all done 3 to 4 years ago, behind the scenes. We've told you a million times, you're watching a movie. This is all pantomime. But what's going on is the dismantling of the EU, the dismantling of the UK corporation, the warmongers, and what happened over in America last week with Charles being over there is all part of this dismantling. There are many commentators out there, it's very clear to me, that haven't got a clue what's going on, because the message that they're putting out is so far away from the truth, it's unbelievable. But this is all being done to expose how the old journalists and the old mainstream media and the old hacks are so far away from the truth. And a lot of it is down to frequency. If you're on the right frequency, you can see what's going on. If you're not, then you don't even see anything going on. We've talked about it in the past, but I would urge you all to work on yourselves, because the minute you awaken to what's really going on, everything makes sense. There's two timelines at the moment, and if you're on the higher frequency, everything it actually looks quite funny. If you're not, you will live in fear. It's your choice. I'm not forcing you, but if you live in fear, then you'll live in a third dimensional world where everything looks terrible and the whole world is falling apart. And if you don't, then you have to work on yourself, raise your frequency, and live in a completely different world where you can see the dismantling of an old system and the birth of a new system. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. My first story of the day is the UK is moving closer to joining a £78 billion European loan package for Ukraine, raising questions over public finances. The government insists the plan is structured as long-term support, not direct spending, but critics argue it comes at a time when the UK is already under significant economic pressure, with concerns about committing billions abroad whilst domestic costs remain high. Talks are ongoing with no final agreement yet. Put your comments below. I'm sure you've got something to say. And as Charlie says, if you're British, you may just want to write an email of complaint.
What's happening in the UK with Ukraine, again, is to expose how the UK war machine, the warmongers behind the scenes, the British royal family, allegedly the British Empire, are all warmongers. They want this war to continue. Allegedly. And then when you step back for just one moment, you realise that the Ukraine is not part of the EU. It's not part of NATO. So why are you getting involved? Why is the UK pumping billions of dollars out there? Is it to help the elite in Ukraine buy new cars, new houses, new boats, and the occasional painting? Or is it genuinely to protect the people of Ukraine? When you do your research, you'll find it's got nothing to do with protecting the people of Ukraine. This is where two things happen on a grand scale. This is where they manufacture bioweapons to reduce the population. Allegedly. This is also where the hub of human trafficking is for Europe. And of course, The EU and the British Parliament like human trafficking. They like child trafficking. They're all involved, allegedly. Do your own research, and then you'll see why they're defending it. It's pretty evil when you dig down and find out exactly what's going on. Having said that, let me remind you, this is all pantomime. This is to wake up the masses as to what's been going on for the last 10 years. It's important that people see it. It's important that people do their own research. I came under attack again over the weekend from somebody that I know from 30 years ago. This particular person 30 years ago was a twat then. He's one of those that made silly comments years ago. Nothing has changed with age. I like to think as people get older, they get wiser. Some don't, bless them. This is a very interesting time to be alive. The question is, do you want to live your life in fear, or do you want to live your life in freedom? I know what my choice is. Drew.
Next up, good news, Charlie. And you know what, nurses? You may actually get a clap for this. Nurses in the United Kingdom are refusing to get vaccinated after seeing the deadly side effects of the jib jab for themselves.
Allegedly.
And guess what the percentage is? 90% are now opting out.
Well, at long last, people are waking up in the medical profession. And I know this because I've been in hospital in the last week. I go every month for checkups. And every single time I go into hospital, I make a point of speaking to doctors and nurses and specialists and pointing out facts, because it takes time to drip, drip, drip this information out there. And there's a difference between those who are awakened now and those that are awakened and are very angry at the powers that be above them that forced them into a position. Because those who took money will be held accountable for their actions. They took money to promote it. And they may well have bought some very nice things with the kind of money that they got paid. One of the things I've learned about the medical profession is the young medical students listen very carefully to the elders in that community and do as they are told, rather than think about things critically. There are very, very few doctors and nurses that think critically. They tend to look up to their elders as experienced. And there's part of me that goes along with that. If somebody has been a doctor or a nurse for 30 years, you would hope you could trust them. Sadly, some of these have taken money, promote an agenda that was all part of a depopulation agenda. My final story is about the phone conversation that was had before the weekend between Trump and Putin. Trump, Putin, Modi, Xi Jinping, they're in constant communication. They are working together to dismantle the old system. Having said that, from the outside, very often you wouldn't see that because it's a very, very covert and difficult operation to dismantle a system. You have no idea how deep and dirty it runs. But I can tell you that it has been dismantled back in the early 2020s, 2021 too. It was all dismantled then. You're watching the pantomime now, so don't live in fear. Have a wonderful day today. There's so much positive stuff that's going to come down the track in May. April was amazing. Now we're into May. Have a wonderful month. Things are on the move. We're moving in the right direction. Don't live in fear. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.